Good morning, and thank you all for joining us. I'm Nick Milliken, the United Conservative candidate for Calgary Currie. Improving mental health is a priority for the United Conservative Party. We recognize the growing concerns surrounding mental health and firmly believe that early intervention, diagnosis, and treatment are crucial for improving outcomes and building a comprehensive, recovery-oriented system of care. Over the last couple of years, mental health issues among children and youth have been on the rise. Understanding the pivotal role mental health supports play in a re-elected United Conservative government will dedicate $60 million to establish 4 new youth mental wellness centers. These centers will provide inpatient mental health and addiction treatment to individuals under the age of 18, focusing on their recovery and long-term wellness. Not all mental health matters require intensive intervention. For many children and youth, they just need more support in their day-to-day lives. We know mental health issues can significantly impact a child or youth's ability to learn and perform well in school. Having more resources to help address these issues mean our kids are more likely to experience improved focus, concentration, and overall cognitive functioning, leading to better academic performance and opportunities for future successes. That's why a re-elected United Conservative government will invest $20 million per year to increase the number of mental health classrooms across Alberta from 20 to 60. These in-school mental health teams include professionals such as nurses, social workers, educational psychologists, speech and language therapists, and occupational therapists, providing comprehensive support to students with complex mental health needs in a specialized classroom setting. Additionally, we'll expand the Integrated School Support Program to 22 high-needs schools across the province. This program provides low-intensity mental health support in high-needs schools by partnering social programs to at-risk children by providing them with the necessary supports to thrive both academically and socially. The UCP will also be expanding the Resilient Schools program in collaboration with First Nations and Métis schools, empowering them to develop strategies to enhance students' success. Investing in early intervention and support for mental health issues in children and youth has the potential to yield long-term positive outcomes. By identifying and addressing these concerns early, individuals are more likely to develop healthy coping mechanisms, manage their symptoms effectively, and lead fulfilling lives. Early intervention can also reduce the risk of developing additional mental health and substance use disorders down the road that may lead to a life of crime or social disorder. Expanding resources to help our kids manage their mental health needs can improve the overall quality of life for Alberta's children and youth as they transition into adulthood and give them every opportunity in life. Healthy social and emotional skills are the building blocks for long-term mental health and well-being. United Conservatives will ensure that Alberta's children and youth have access to the care that they need to heal, grow, and thrive. And with that, I will pass it on to my colleague, Michael Ellis.
Thank you very much, Nick, and thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here today in the beautiful constituency of Calgary West. I am Mike Ellis. I am the United Conservative Party candidate for Calgary West. Supporting the mental health and well-being of the broader community has been one of the top priorities for this UCP government. Having appropriate supports in place for adults who are struggling is a key part of our plan to improve the safety of Alberta communities. Increasing access to supports, intervention services, and treatment can prevent more Albertans from going down a very, very dark path. Rather, it will provide them with the hope and support that they need to get their lives back. That's why a re-elected United Conservative government will invest $125 million to build 5 new mental wellness centers for adults. These centers will offer targeted short and long-term programs enabling Albertans recovering from mental health challenges to pursue recovery and stabilize within the community. Furthermore, if re-elected, we will expand Counseling Alberta and continue to provide accessible and affordable same-day counseling sessions, ensuring that all Albertans have immediate access to the supports that they need. A key pillar to these programs is accessibility. Recovery shouldn't only be available to those who can bankroll it themselves. These programs will be available at no cost to the user because recovery should be for everyone. All these mental health projects are made possible thanks to the healthcare funding agreement that the UCP negotiated with Ottawa, which brings Alberta taxpayer dollars back to the province to support communities instead of sending them to Eastern Canada. This is how we are ensuring that all Alberta families have access to high quality, affordable and timely mental health supports. This is about having access to vital services when you need them the most. Folks, I want to be clear here today. The NDP have absolutely no plan to assist Albertans suffering with mental health and addictions issues. They intended to deal with the increasing problem of offering free hard drugs to addicts, increasing the number of drug consumption sites with absolutely no guardrails. We are seeing a plan that is being exposed as an utter failure as we look up and down the west coast of North America, where their counterparts, the BC NDP as an example, move on dangerous policies like decriminalization and so-called safe supply. That's not how we help people. That's not how we provide hope to people. Because Albertans need hope, not heroin. The United Conservative Party is here to offer real hope and real recovery for all Albertans. Mental health, addiction, and crime are all issues that can be improved when we provide early intervention and treatment. When Albertans receive help to cope and manage mental health concerns, they can live healthier and more fulfilling lives. When we offer addiction treatment to Albertans, we are giving them a hand up out of the truly vicious cycle of addiction and addiction-fueled crime and providing them with hope for a better life. When we are tough on crime, we ensure that our streets are safer, so that all Albertans can be confident that they are safe to walk downtown for dinner or to take public transportation or bring their kids to local playground, just like right here. Prevention, intervention, treatment for addiction and mental health will have a far-reaching and long-term positive impact on our communities. By addressing mental health concerns in a timely manner, Albertans develop strategies to cope with stress, manage emotions, and maintain a positive outlook on life. Our aim is not to only help individuals heal from trauma, but also create opportunities for them to live fuller and healthier lives, empowering them to pursue their dreams with confidence. This is how we're going to move Alberta forward. Thank you very much, and I will now pass it on to take questions. Thank you.
Perfect. We'll start with the gentlemen who are at the park with us today. But if you are on the line, press star 1 right now if you want to join the queue, and I will turn it over to the mic. One question, and if we have time, we'll do follow-ups.
All right. I was curious about the 60 million. Is the mental health centers, wellness centers for young people, that's separate from the mental health classrooms?
Yes, the mental health centers for youth are separate. These are purpose-built facilities that will help to reduce some of the pressures, some of the acute pressures that we're seeing on the healthcare system more broadly.
Yeah, I just want to add to that. I mean, obviously, you know, right now there's a system in place which you're taking people to emergency rooms. You know, and you know, we're not necessarily, I would argue, seeing the outcomes that are probably desired outcomes. So having facilities for youth and having facilities for adults to make sure that they have a holistic approach in dealing with you know, any acute mental health issue they might be facing.
I think my question's for you, Mike. Your party has talked a ton about mental health and addictions,
Yeah.
about crime,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. Are there specific targets that you're looking to hit? Let's say you win, it's a 4-year term. Are there specific targets, something tangible we can look at and say, oh, this was a success, or maybe there's still more work to do?
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, when I had the job of mental health and addictions minister before Minister Milliken, we did see some success. We saw reduction in during a specific time period of over 50% reduction in opioid fatalities in Alberta, as we're always being directly compared to British Columbia. At the same time period, we saw theirs increase by 30%. So of course that is one metric, but I can tell you, as many of you know who are here right now, I used to be a law enforcement officer, did over 10 years on the streets of Calgary. When we're dealing with a lot of crime, unfortunately, a lot of it is, a lot of people unfortunately have either severe mental health or addictions issues. So, what is it that we're wanting to see? We want people to have hope and opportunity to get truly the help that they need for their mental health and or addiction issue or a combination thereof. But we will proportionally see a reduction in the crimes and the social and civil disorder as we continue to help people with those that are afflicted with the mental health and addictions issues. Yeah.
Okay, we'll go to the phone lines before coming back to the park for any follow-up questions. Just make sure that you say your name and your outlet before asking your question. Operator, can you put through the first caller?
The first caller is Brody Domitz, Calgary Herald. Please go ahead.
Hi, Brody Thomas, Calgary Herald. Question for Mike Ellis. CPS, Calgary Police Service, has released its annual report. It's going to council next week. And in that report, they note that Calgary's crime severity index has actually been on a steady decline since highs in 2019. So it was actually below the national index in 2021. I'm just wondering how that jives with what your party been saying about Calgary facing a public safety crisis, about Calgary facing a crime crisis right now.
Yeah, well, I think the answer to that question you had was the one I just gave one of our guests that are here today. As we continue to help people with severe mental health and addictions issues, we will start to see social and disorder type of crimes start to go down. That being said, as I've said at many press conferences before, there are citizens of Calgary, citizens of Edmonton, that have been very, very clear that they do not feel safe riding transit systems. They do not feel safe walking downtown. So we have to provide that balance, and we can. And we've demonstrated that we can. You can have the balance between helping people who have severe mental health and addictions issues and getting them the help that they need, while also providing a sense of public safety for all of our citizens in the city. And we've been doing that. That's again, I've said this before as well. I mean, one of the biggest complaints I get is that we don't have enough sheriffs, enough police officers that are providing a sense of public safety in the downtown areas of both Calgary and Edmonton.
Thank you. We'll take a second round of questions from the floor.
Sure. Getting back to the mental health centers and the classrooms, have you determined where the mental health centers for youth will be, or is this just in the planning stage?
So as of right now, what we're targeting for the growth with regards to the centers and the classrooms are high needs areas. So we've had classrooms already open up. We expanded it out to 20. So that's literally all across the province in, again, high needs areas. And then we're going to be expanding those even further. These classrooms are amazing. They offer kids who are experiencing, in some cases, mental health issues that normally might pull them out of class the opportunity to continue with their studies. So this is a compassionate way to make sure that kids don't fall behind. Thanks.
Is there an age limit on, or like when the problems start?
For the youth centers, the age limit would be 18.
Up to 18, but
up to 18.
Beginning how young?
As young as you start to see these issues, which, I mean, anecdotally talking to individuals, they can happen very, very young. But on the average, if you're a youth experiencing these issues, I think it's often somewhere in that 14 range is kind of where people start to see issues. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just supplement that. Our first integrated school support programs was actually started by Chief Rick Hansen many years ago. And it was in the elementary schools is where it started, right? Because it's about ensuring that these kids have the necessary supports. And just to expand on what Mr. Milliken, or candidate Milliken, was saying, should I say, is that it really is truly a holistic approach when we talk about integrated school support programs. So it's ensuring that they have psychological supports or mental health wellness supports. They make sure that there's after school care for those kids. They make sure that there is meal program supports. There is physical fitness supports, nutrition supports. So it truly becomes that holistic approach. And I think one of the most important things, and again, was started by Chief Hansen, is to ensure that they have the police officer there. And that police officer there is there to provide mentorship and guidance to help those kids get the necessary help and help families actually get the help that they need. And as I have said many, many times before, if the police officer is not there, then unfortunately the gang member is going to be there. And we have to make sure we protect all of our children. And just to expand again on what we did for the first few programs that we had in to expand which was started here in Calgary, but to expand it, we took a lot of the data from education, from health, as well as from the law enforcement community, right? And we said, who are the kids throughout Alberta that truly have the highest needs with the highest risk, and that's where we saw the next phase. And then what Minister Milliken has indicated again is that we're going to continue to grow that to ensure that we have many of the supports that are expanded throughout Alberta. Yeah.
Last question on site. Just a reminder to say your name and outlet. Thank you.
Yeah, Tim Brook with CTV. It's been a campaign of hard questions, so let me just lob you a quick softball. We got a little bit more than 48 hours before some results are going to start pouring in. I'm just wondering how you guys are feeling.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, the doors. The doors have been good. I mean, you just saw me wave. That was a constituent waving and giving me the thumbs up, right? So I appreciate the support from the people of Calgary West. I appreciate the support that I'm seeing all throughout the province. As you're fully aware, we had a rally just the other day with our friends at the Grey Eagle and in Sutina. I had over, around 2,000 people that showed up at that rally. And, let me be clear. I mean, these were everyday citizens of Calgary that have come out to support, well, not just Calgary, but from around, the Calgary region that come out to support the United Conservative Party and are, looking for a re-elected party.
Yeah, and if I would just add, the people of Calgary Curry are super engaged this election. It's awesome to go around and talk to so many of them at the doors. For some reason, it seems like in the last few days too, they've really started to see through some of the negative campaigning and some of the things that the NDP have stated that just aren't true. And as I have these conversations with people, often what I end up asking, literally almost everybody, is how are you? Like, how's everybody in the home? And virtually 100% of individuals always turn around. They're like, oh, well, we're fine. Work's good, kids are good. And I think that that's, if there's one thing taken away from the doors, it's that people are genuinely happy out there. So thank you.
All right. Well, that concludes our announcement for today. Thank you for joining and have a happy Saturday.